Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I'm so glad that you're joining me for these messages. It just brings me so much joy to read your cards. Speaking of, my calendar is now open for personal readings. The link for that is in the description below. Of course, anything you could ever want to know about this reading is going to be in the description below. And honestly, that's really all I have. I'm not even sure what decks we're going to be using yet. I just started getting that poking feeling last night to start putting out messages again. So that's what we're going to do. And this is probably the quickest intro I've ever done, but let's get into it. Great. So let's see. There we go. 1, 4. So sorry. It seems like just so loud. I don't know why all of a sudden I feel like overstimulated by sounds, which is really kind of interesting. I mean, that's not abnormal. That definitely happens to me. Like, have you ever been in that space of being like overstimulated by sound, and then you walk into like a grocery store or something, and then you have to like immediately turn around and leave? Because it's just like too much. Anyway, that's just kind of interesting. I wonder if that, just kind of resonates with you. Because I didn't feel that way until literally just like a minute ago. So anyway, what I was going to say is that, if you've seen any of these readings that I've done for the Human Design Profile, I usually have a website or book or passage or, something that just gives like a general overview of the profile. And this time I didn't have that ready to go. And when I realized that, I went out Googling and getting on Instagram and Facebook and, Reddit. And there is a lot of great information out there on all things human design, but there just really wasn't anything that was just kind of hitting the spot. So I just am going with the flow, for one, and just trusting that may not be a big part of the message this time around. Of course, I would encourage you to take a look at your profile, but also your strategy and authority, because your strategy and authority is going to help you enter into the correct experiences. And then your profile is how you interact with the energy of those experiences. So anyway, I do just want to give like a quick overview though. That first line is the investigator line, and that's all about your sense of security coming from a firm foundation of knowledge and understanding. Like, if you feel insecure about something, it's generally because like you don't have enough information. It's also the line that loves research. It's like a sponge for information, right? I'm a 5/1, so I have that first line on the design or the unconscious side. So I get it. It's almost kind of like that lifelong student vibe. And then the fourth line is, and let me back up, not student as far as like school. I mean, you can be one of those people that really enjoy school. I am not. So I just wanted to I just wanted to put out there, when I mean like a lifelong student, I just mean as far as like knowledge and information. So the fourth line is the opportunist line, and that talks about community, networking, friends. It's like, your best opportunities are going to be found within your community, within the people that are familiar with you. And so that doesn't mean like your besties or close acquaintances. I mean, it could literally be like word of mouth. It's like somebody mentions this, so you go do that, and then you meet more people, or like an opportunity kind of falls into your lap type of thing. It is also the line that says that the information that you investigate is best going to be shared with your community, with your acquaintances, with people who are familiar to you. And also, I can't remember if it was the definitive book of human design. Somewhere I read that familiarity literally just means, like, let's say that you were invited to give a talk somewhere or a presentation somewhere. Instead of walking out or walking into the room, walking out on stage as a complete stranger, it says that your best bet would be to like mingle a little bit, show your face, like in the lobby or in the crowd, even greeting people as they come in. It's just that like hint of, oh, I've seen this person before type of thing. Whereas somebody with, like me, a fifth line, we have more impact on strangers, and familiarity breeds content with fifth lines. So just to kind of point out the differences there. Is there anything else I want to say about the 1-4? I don't think so, but if anything comes to me, of course, I will share it. I think I might be getting to a point of needing to get this baddie in a little bit bigger of a... So we're just going to get an oracle card from the Everyday Witch Oracle deck for the overall vibe for our investigator opportunists. And then we have the Everyday Witch Tarot. We'll get more information from it. We'll see if I'm like able to hold on to these cards too. Like, of course, as soon as I say it. My hands have not wanted to work today. That is beautiful. I love the colors on this card too. Gratitude and thanks. Very earthy also, clearly, right? With all of the flowers and plants. Butterflies are about transformation. So there could be some sort of like evolution, or of course a transformation, like some sort of metamorphosis, right? Because that's what they do. Like they start out as caterpillars, the cocoon, turn into goo, come out as butterflies, right? So I mean, like that could have been a process that you had gone through. And this would signify, just because there are already butterflies, like coming out of that cocoon or getting close to it at least. We have tulips, we have lilies. That could have some significance to you. Beautiful. It's almost like this feeling of being happy with where you're at. Need six cards. We have the Three of Swords. Yeah, Six of Wands. Yeah, talk about some sort of transformation. This is like going from the lowest of the low to a high. That's a 3 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. I don't know if I actually said that out loud. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, I don't know why, but I feel like these should actually be like this. It was like this, like, pecking feeling. Oh my gosh, lovely. Queen of Swords, the Hermit. Okay. Wow. I absolutely love that we start with this 3 of Swords and we end with the 4 of Swords. Like, anytime there's a progression like that, it just signifies that you are currently moving through, that energy. But I love that it's like at the beginning and the end, because there's all this kind of information in the middle, right? So I actually kind of want to see what this gratitude. All right, it says, it is easy to take the good things for granted, especially at times when the bad stuff is overwhelming. But those are the moments when it is the most important to pause and give thanks for what you do have, instead of dwelling on what you don't. If you are dealing with a health issue, focus on the parts of your body that work correctly, or thank the ones with issues for doing the best they can under the circumstances. Don't have enough money? Be grateful for what you do have, and especially give thanks to the people who are there for you in both good times and bads. Scientific studies have proven that an attitude of gratitude is actually healthy. But you already knew that, didn't you? Sometimes we just need a little reminder to be grateful and say thank you. Yeah. Exactly. I don't always, read from the books, but it's like when I do, I am grateful that I did because, sometimes it's just perfect. And it's almost like that is probably exactly what we're going to unfold in this whole reading here. Because like I said, we start with the 3 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords is like heartbreak. It's betrayal, rejection, dissatisfaction, disappointment. Like, it doesn't feel good, but swords have to do with our minds, right? So it's the stories that we attach to the experiences that we've had. And that's where our ego comes from, right? So this is more, it's less about feelings because it's not cups. It's more about how we perceive things, right? And if we are perceiving things as being bad or at least not good, that's coming from our minds. And that's also coming from, comparing ourselves to either a different point in our lives, other people in our lives. Again, it just got so loud. I don't know if it's even loud, for you guys. Like today, at least it's snowy and windy and like cold outside. But interestingly enough, in this card though, they have their journal. The inkwell is spilled out. Journal is closed and locked. So, and there's nobody in this bed. So it seems like this card always to me in this deck specifically has this feeling of you've already worked through your thoughts on a situation. You've already written it all out, if you are a journaler. Even if you're not, it's like you've already gone through every scenario. You've processed all of the information, all of the thoughts that you've had about it. I mean, that could be about a relationship, it could be about yourself, it could be inner child stuff. Obviously it would just be whatever would fit your situation. But it's like, since there's nobody here, it's like you're no longer dwelling, is how that feels to me. And like I was saying, even with these butterflies, right? Like if you have, it's like you've already been in the cocoon. You were the butterfly, you built your cocoon, you turned to goo, and then, now you're coming out as this butterfly. Which is exactly, because it's almost like making this decision to like go after something. It's like instead of dwelling, like laying in bed, I'm going to go do something. And I think that's why these two cards wanted to be switched. Like at that point, I wasn't even really like connecting to the message yet. So I think that's also why there was like that pecking thing that I was like being told to switch these two cards. Because, the Wheel of Fortune is about your luck changing. And I always see it as a good thing. I don't care what it is paired with. If you've been in the Three of Swords energy, this is saying you are officially coming out. And things are starting to look more bright. And maybe you have started to have a bit more gratitude. Or maybe you've even started a gratitude practice in your journal. But like on this card, there is literally nothing bad on this wheel. Any one of these things that you land on is a good thing. This cat is playing with some dice down here too, so that always kind of has given me a feeling of like gambling, but not traditional way of gamble, but just that feeling of like risk, like something feels like a gamble. But it's also like, since it's showing up, it's a gamble you're willing to take. It's a risk that you are willing to take. And look at these two effing cards. I didn't even really recognize that it was a 10 of Cups that was here. I don't even know where my mind was when this card came out. But we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands talks about victory after tough times. Wands are about action, communication, it's fire, so it's, motivation. This is also information too, whether it's coming in or going out, but there is this recognition that comes with this. So, there's all these people back here. Even the similarity between what they're wearing, but it's like this is elevated, Like if you watch any like, fashion, shows or whatever, like this would be kind of, it needs to be edited a bit. And this is the elevated version of this. They even put, like flowers around the brim of their hat there. So it's like, again, this has this feeling of like the butterfly thing. This is even expressing yourself differently, like showing up in the world differently. But like I said, it is some level of success. I mean, you could even be, again, just coming out of this cocoon that you've been in, and people are like, wow, like we notice these changes in you. And it could be from a breakup, it could be from healing, it could be from a dark night of the soul, fit it wherever it fits type of thing. And then the 10 of Cups. I get like these are two very good effing cards. Good for you. Um, the Ten of Cups is about community. Really, it's about family, chosen or biological. This is a Queen of Cups. This is a King of Cups. This is the Page of Cups. In the Queen of Cups card, she's pregnant. So obviously, I mean, she'd given birth in this. This would become the Page of Cups, and they will become the Knight of Cups. But the Ten of Cups is like happy home, happy life type of thing. You know, it's everybody feels fulfilled. Everybody's cup is full. There's enough love and feel good to go around. Like I said, cups having to do with our emotions, how we feel about things, and this is being able to express those feelings with other people. It has a very like stop and smell the roses type of feel to it. Like, I mean, they're out for a picnic, you know? So really, again, even going back to this gratitude card, it's like being grateful for these times and even making room for these times. Again, whether that has to do with your partners, your family, or your friends. But, you know, creating space, making time for just play even, right? Like play, fun, decompressing, appreciation, admiration even too. I love this. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is nurturing. Definitely like mother hen type of vibe. It doesn't have to involve children, of course, but just that vibe. Pentacles have to do with our physical body. It's our money, how we get it, how we spend it, how we save it. It's, you know, the resources that we have available. It's the materials that we have available. There's clearly enough here to even go around. They have this chest of money here. I'm actually curious, speaking of books, because I just got this regular size deck when I started putting out this series of videos, and it came with this big, beautiful book, which my first line loves. So I haven't actually read about the Queen of Wands from this book. I just love books like this too because it helps me like expand my knowledge and understanding because you know, I'm reading somebody else's perspective of the card. So I just love that. Prosperity and abundance comes in many forms. This queen is at ease on her wooden throne, which still has roots in the dirt. She has abundance in many forms and radiates a calm serenity. I should probably hold this up so you can see what it's talking about. A mama cat and her kittens play joyfully at her feet. Prosperity is as much a state of mind as it is a state of your bank account. There is abundance all around you and people who will help you achieve your goals. If you are rooted in the earth and tuned into the glory of the world around you, it is that much more likely that you too will blossom and grow. Be the queen of your own domain, but rule with love and an open heart. This whole reading has this. I just want to re-emphasize that your best opportunities are going to be found within your community. These two cards talk about community, recognition from others, feeling like you belong or that, you have a sense of community or family. And maybe that's something that you feel like you had been missing to a certain degree. But whatever it is that you are looking for, look within, your community. I mean, it could be like your town. It could be social media. I mean, like I said, even before your start networking, you know, it's almost like really kind of pull in on the like friendliness of the fourth line to start making connections. And it's maybe even something that you have recognized that is lacking to some degree, because after this Wheel of Fortune is when all of this stuff changes. So I love this. And then the Four of Swords is about healing. It's literally giving your mind a break. It's like going from this Three of Swords to being in the state of beating yourself up mentally or feeling rejected, like I was saying before with it, to now they're actually laying in bed and sleeping. There's this like sense of contentment with this card. I mean, the cat is even sleeping soundly. This is like everything is all right again. We have the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is about mental clarity, going from the Three of Swords to the Four of Swords to the Queen of Swords. Like, some people say the Queen of Swords is kind of cold. I mean, it does look like they're sitting on kind of an icy looking throne there. But it's more about like logics and how, like being logical sometimes lacks emotion. But this is like cutting out BS. This has this energy of like not letting anybody F with you. Like people better come correct or just not at all. And I love how we have two queens out here. Technically, there's like 2.5 because the Queen of Cups is still present on the 10 of Cups at least. And what's also interesting is that this is all like individual. This is the only card that has other people involved as far as family. This is still individual, but being recognized by others. The queens are when we recognize the energy of the suit within ourselves. So it's like we give it to ourselves before we can give it to other people. Like RuPaul says at the end of Drag Race every time, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Like you have to be able to recognize the energy of the suit within yourself so that you can move on to the king of the suit and share it with others and be that leader. Right? So there's definitely something within you that is growing, it's evolving, it's ascending. We have the Hermit behind, and the Hermit talks about literally going within. It's getting quiet in order to hear your next steps. There's a wisdom aspect that comes with it, with the owl being up there. So it's like literally listening to your own inner guidance. And it's also about recognizing that your path is your own. Literally nobody else can do it for you. It's taking a rest when you need it. Four of Cups is about boredom, being lethargic, just not being happy or satisfied with the cups that are being offered here. And with the Death card behind, oh my gosh, look at this. I'm obsessed and I'm happy for you. This kind of seems like all of this on the bottom of the deck, it almost kind of seems like it's like this is what is being released, or this is what is happening as a result of all of this happening. Like recognizing your worth, being very clear in your thoughts about the world, your thoughts about yourself. The Hermit card, again, with this aspect of healing that the Four of Swords has, but this is earth, so it's about being grounded, It could even be a meditation practice, but again, it's like, really grounding into your own being, like who you are. And it's like this feeling of being dissatisfied or being bored or being lethargic is coming to an end. This could even be stagnation. If you've been in an energy of not knowing what you want, or I mean, again, they're sitting there drinking by themselves. So that could have even had, like an impact on your mood, because the fourth line, it does need to have that network. But also the first line is about information too. So there's these scrolls here. So there could be something that you are researching or finding an interest in. But the death card is about one door closing so another could open. And this is already open. So, there's this rope here that's hanging on by literally a thread. And all it's going to take is just, barely any pressure from this sword. And it could be the Ace of Swords here that's cutting it. So Ace of Swords is divine truth. But also, if they keep tension on both sides of this rope, it's going to break anyway. But what I was going to say is that there's already a door open here. So whatever, this Four of Cups it is coming to an end. And it may be coming to an end because there is this sense of community. There's, the Three of Cups talks about support from others. It's a card of, celebration. Again, right? So we go from the Three of Swords down here to the Four of Swords. And then literally we go from the Four of Cups, Death card, to the Three of Cups. I think that is effing interesting. Like, there could be a significance of the number 7 for you. There's 2 10s on the table. Beautiful. I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.